We are covering refrigerant leak detection methods, a critical topic for the core and Type 2 sections of the EPA 608 exam. The test will present you with scenarios and expect you to choose the most appropriate method. So let's break down the 4 primary options you must know. First is the soap bubble test. This involves applying a solution to a suspected joint or fitting and watching for bubbles on the exam. This is your go-to method for pinpointing a known leak in an accessible location. It's simple and effective. The trap here is choosing it for a large or inaccessible area. If the question describes a suspected leak on an evaporator coil buried inside an air handler, the bubble test is the wrong answer because you can't easily see or reach the potential leak points. Next, and most common, are electronic leak detectors. These tools, like heated diode or corona discharge sniffers, are extremely sensitive to halogenated refrigerants. The exam will test you on their proper use. A key fact to remember is that they must be calibrated before use, often with a known refrigerant source, to ensure accuracy. When using one, you must move the probe slowly, about 1 inch per second, right below the suspected leak area, since refrigerants are heavier than air. A common exam trap involves a windy environment. Electronic detectors are not reliable outdoors because the wind can disperse the refrigerant vapor before it's detected. Another trick is a false positive caused by cleaning solvents, so the area must be clean. The third method is using ultraviolet or UV dye. A fluorescent dye is injected into the system's oil and circulates with the refrigerant. When it escapes at a leak, it leaves a residue that glows brightly under a UV lamp. The exam will frame this as the best method for finding very slow, intermittent, or hard-to-find leaks that other methods might miss. The critical trap to avoid is assuming you can add any dye to any system. You must use a dye that is approved by the equipment manufacturer to avoid voiding warranties or causing damage. The final and most definitive method for confirming a leak after a major repair or on a new installation is the standing pressure test with dry nitrogen. After recovering any refrigerant, you pressurize the isolated system with nitrogen and watch for a pressure drop on your gauges. The EPA exam will hammer you on safety for this procedure. You must only use dry nitrogen. A classic trick question will ask what gas to use and offer choices like compressed air or pure oxygen. Never choose these. Mixing oxygen with refrigerant oil under pressure can cause a violent explosion. To help you remember this critical safety rule, use this mnemonic: never openly add air, or NOAA, for nitrogen only, absolutely no air. A pressure drop confirms a leak exists, but it doesn't pinpoint it. You'll still need a method like soap bubbles to find the exact location. Finally, the best practice, and often the correct exam answer for ensuring accuracy, is to use 2 methods for confirmation. For example, get a preliminary indication with an electronic detector, then pinpoint the exact spot with soap bubbles. For free practice questions, AI-powered explanations, and more exam prep tools, visit openexamprep.com. That's openexamprep, all one word, .com.